Exit out the vehicle for me.
Exit out the vehicle with the hands in the air.
Shot. I love you, bro. I get my girlfriend a kiss out, please.
You'll get in a second. Come on.
Working with that guy, Lil Baby, man. I mean, what has it been like teaming up with him? And how did y'all boy link up?
Baby, that's my boy. Like, same hood, that's my boy.
This is Contavious Wright, better known on the streets as Dirty Tay, a 24-year-old up-and-coming rapper whose name was about to echo through every corner of the hip-hop world, but not for the reasons anyone expected. On August 19th, 2022, his life took a dark and shocking turn when he was arrested for a crime so disturbing, so unbelievable, it left fans speechless and the rap scene completely stunned. But before everything crashed down, let's rewind to where it all began. Deep in the gritty streets of Atlanta's Zone 4. That's where a young man with raw ambition and pure talent started carving his path in the wild world of trap music. With nothing but a dream and a voice that could shake speakers, Contavious was turning heads fast and moving like someone destined for greatness. As we dig into his story, we'll uncover the red flags, the risky choices, and the twisted chain of events that turned his rise into one of Atlanta's most tragic hip-hop downfalls. Every move, every decision, every headline, it all leads to one jaw-dropping truth that changed everything. To really feel the weight of this fall from grace, you have to see how fast Contavious' star was burning in Atlanta's competitive trap scene. He wasn't just another rapper hustling in the shadows hoping for a lucky break. No, this was an artist who had it. That spark, that energy, that magic that can't be faked. In just a few short months, Dirty Tay went from a local dreamer to someone catching the attention of major names in the game. His journey was moving fast, almost too fast. And what came next would change his story forever.
Like, baby, help a nigga, like, he with me behind me for sure. He not top me a lot, he not top me a lot.
Yeah.
With rap and with the street.
Facts.
Like, baby a real one, he not top me a lot with the rap in the street. He a real one for sure.
It didn't take long for people to notice that Contavious wasn't just another rapper. He was different. His rise happened in such a short time. It said everything about his raw talent and the hunger that burned inside him. From the start, his peers could feel there was something unique in his flow, something in his voice that made people stop and listen. But what really launched Dirty Tay from being just another name in Atlanta's crowded scene to someone everyone started talking about was his signing to 4PF, the powerhouse label founded by Grammy-winning superstar Lil Baby. That moment was huge. It wasn't just a deal, it was validation. A sign that one of the biggest names in hip-hop believed in him. That kind of cosign doesn't come easy, and for Dirty Tay, it changed everything. Getting recognized by Lil Baby opened doors that most artists spend years chasing without ever getting close. It was the ultimate stamp of approval, and it instantly put Dirty Tay on the radar as the next one to blow. In an interview with an Atlanta radio station, Wright opened up about his bond with Lil Baby, explaining how their connection ran deep through their neighborhood roots. He said, "Baby help a nigga like he with me behind me for sure." You could hear the respect in his voice. Dirty Tay looked up to Lil Baby not just as a label boss, but as a real mentor, someone who had his back when it mattered most.
Nah, I mean, it's way big on the Low project, man. Break it down to me. Is this the first mixtape?
That is the first tape. I'm bigger than what I am on the low, where like since I dropped it, ain't on the low no more.
In the street, he a real one for sure, Dirty Tay said it with pride. And he meant it. By 2020, his grind was undeniable. That year alone, he dropped 2 full albums, way bigger on the low and 2 turned up, both packed with street-heavy anthems that blended raw hustle with mainstream flavor. Each track hit hard, showing his skill for turning real-life struggles into music people could feel. Tracks like Beast and Don't Wanna Do It didn't just catch local buzz, they exploded. Every song crossed the 1 million stream mark on Spotify, something most independent rappers can only dream about. That kind of success doesn't happen by accident. It proved that Dirty Tay had found a sound that connected deeply with the streets and the internet. When asked about the meaning behind his first project title, he broke it down perfectly. "I'm bigger than what I am on the low. Well, like since I dropped, it ain't on the low no more." That line said everything about his mindset. He knew he was destined to break out, and he was right. By May 2022, Dirty Tay was sitting at over 74,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, solid numbers that showed he wasn't just another name in the mix. In a crowded game where thousands fight to be heard, he was standing out loudly. And the best part, none of it was fake or forced. This wasn't some label-engineered hype or paid promotion trick. His rise was real, powered by fans who saw themselves in his lyrics, his grind, and his truth. Dirty Tay's music told the story of struggle, survival, and ambition. And people could feel it. When asked how often he was recording, his energy said it all. This man was living in the studio chasing greatness every single day. Mostly every day, he said without hesitation. Dirty Tay's grind was nonstop. The man practically lived in the studio. His work ethic was wild, and when asked about his goals, his ambition couldn't have been clearer. He wanted it all: the fame, the respect, and a legacy that would last forever.
Or how often do you record now?
Most every day.
Oh, yeah?
I record most every day. Every time I go to the studio, I make a song. I go to the studio most every day. Keep dropping more music, keep going up.
Yeah.
Start on like more shows and start on more of everything.
Wright's rise was a perfect reflection of Atlanta's unstoppable do-it-yourself hip-hop culture. A world where social media, street connections, and raw talent could turn an unknown rapper into a neighborhood legend overnight. Dirty Tay embodied everything that made the Atlanta trap scene so magnetic. Authenticity mixed with hustle, street smarts fused with artistic vision. He wasn't faking it, he was it. Everything seemed to be falling right into place for Contavious Wright. He had the skill, the drive, the backing from one of rap's biggest stars, strong label support, streaming numbers climbing fast, and a fan base that kept growing by the day. It looked like nothing could stop him. His path to success seemed unstoppable. But sometimes, the same streets that give an artist their story also take everything away. For Dirty Tay, those same corners that built his name would soon pull him into a storm he could never escape. Then came one quiet afternoon in August 2022, the day everything changed forever.
Exit out the vehicle for me.
Exit out the field, put the hands in the air.
Just put the phone down for us, please, so you don't get yourself hurt. Come back towards us. Any weapons on you? Get your hands away from your purse for me. Put them on top of your head.
It is.
Yeah, he's got his phone and a big stack of cash in his pocket.
So there are no weapons on
Phone
you
in his
now.
back pocket.
Can you get that to my girlfriend, please?
On August 3rd, in southwest Atlanta, near the Off the Hook barbershop on Peter Street, a father and his young son had just finished a simple errand, a haircut. Nothing unusual, just an everyday moment shared between parent and child. But within minutes, that peaceful routine would be shattered. What should have been an ordinary day in the neighborhood was about to become the center of a story that would shock the city and destroy everything Contavious Wright had worked so hard to build. The father and his little boy walked out of the barbershop that afternoon, just another peaceful moment. A clean cut, a smile, and a ride home ahead. But they had no clue someone was watching them, no idea that danger was creeping just behind. According to police reports and witnesses, a Kia began tailing their car the moment they left the lot. This wasn't a coincidence. Not some random driver on the same route. No, this was a planned move, a calculated setup. The Kia followed closely through the streets of southwest Atlanta, stalking every turn, every stop, waiting for the perfect time to strike. Then, in one chilling moment, it happened. The car made a sudden U-turn, pulled up beside the father's vehicle at an intersection, and then chaos broke loose. Gunfire exploded. Witnesses said it all happened in seconds, a burst of shots echoing through the street. The father later told investigators that around 5 bullets were fired straight at his car. In that horrifying instant, everything went from calm to pure terror. Glass shattered, tires screeched, and fear took over as bullets tore through the air. Then the unthinkable. One bullet pierced the car and struck his 3-year-old son in the head.
Shy, I love you, bro.
I'll walk you.
Shy,
Hey, follow this officer right here.
Shy,
Come on, come on.
I love you for real, bro. Can I get my girlfriend a kiss shot, please?
You'll get it in a second. Come on, buddy. You'll get it in a second.
Please.
You'll get it in a second, my brother. You'll get it in a second.
The father's heart must have dropped. There was no time to think, no time to wait. Instead of waiting for help, he made a desperate split-second decision. He slammed the gas and sped toward the nearest fire station, hoping someone there could save his boy. Firefighters and paramedics rushed into action the second he arrived, racing against time to save the child identified in reports as Javon. He was quickly transported to the hospital where surgeons fought to keep him alive. The scene was devastating. A simple afternoon errand had turned into a nightmare that no parent could ever imagine. The bullet that struck that innocent 3-year-old's head had to be surgically removed, and against all odds, the child survived. It was nothing short of a miracle. Doctors managed to remove the bullet, and soon after surgery, they confirmed what no one expected to hear. The little boy was in stable condition. The entire community breathed a sigh of relief, knowing how close this family came to losing everything. His grandfather, Regis Yates, spoke with Fox 5 Atlanta about the horrifying ordeal. You could feel the emotion in every word he said, a mix of deep gratitude and lingering shock. Yates told reporters that the boy was real lucky to be alive after such a senseless act of violence. That short sentence said it all. They'd come inches away from an unthinkable tragedy. Meanwhile, investigators from the Atlanta Police Department were racing to uncover the truth. They worked non-stop, determined to find out who could commit something so cold-blooded. At the scene, officers recovered 3 9mm shell casings, small pieces of metal that would soon become key evidence in their growing case. Detectives interviewed witnesses one by one, hoping to piece together what really happened that afternoon. They checked every nearby business for surveillance footage, scoured the area for clues, and began tracing the events that led up to that terrifying moment. Slowly, the picture started to form. Police eventually determined that the father was the intended target of the attack, not the child. The 3-year-old had just been caught in the middle of something he had nothing to do with. Wrong place, wrong time, and it nearly cost him his life. What started as a family outing had turned into a crime that would shake Atlanta. And soon, detectives would uncover a name that made the entire case explode. The little boy had been nothing more than an innocent victim, caught in violence that wasn't meant for him. Police believe the attack was gang-related, another brutal chapter in the ongoing street conflicts that haunt so many communities across America. These endless cycles of revenge and retaliation always seem to hit hardest where it hurts most. The innocent, families torn apart, lives changed forever, and pain that doesn't fade. Then just 16 days later, everything shifted. On August 19, 2022, a simple traffic stop would blow the entire case wide open. Contavious Wright, the same rising rapper everyone knew as Dirty Tay, was pulled over by police along with his girlfriend. What seemed like a routine stop turned into something much bigger.
And as you can, it's still a very active scene. So we still have to piece together. We need to go back to the barbershop to figure out exactly if there's anything that happened inside the barbershop. So again, very fluid. We have the dad. We're asking questions regarding what happened, but it appears to be a targeted incident. Does not appear to be random at all. But again, it's still very early on in our investigation. We're still trying to ascertain a lot of information at this time.
Officers searched the vehicle and made a discovery that changed everything. A firearm was found on his girlfriend, but investigators quickly believed the gun actually belonged to Wright himself. That discovery turned suspicion into solid evidence. And right there on the street, Dirty Tay's fast-moving life came to a screeching halt. Body cam footage from the arrest captured it all. The flashing lights, the confusion, and the moment Wright was taken into custody. You could see it in his face, that mix of shock, frustration, and fear. But what really stood out was his focus on one thing, his girlfriend. Even as officers moved in, his main concern was about being separated from her, a glimpse of humanity in a moment that would change his future forever. After his arrest, Contavious Wright, better known as Dirty Tay, was booked into Fulton County Jail, facing a staggering list of charges that left everyone stunned, a dozen in total. Each one painted a dark picture of what authorities believed had happened that August afternoon. Among the most serious was attempted murder, tied to the alleged targeting of the father. Then came aggravated assault, connected to the violent act itself, and first-degree cruelty to children, for the devastating injury suffered by the 3-year-old boy. Every charge carried weight, and together, they threatened to destroy everything Wright had built. But it didn't stop there. Prosecutors added 3 counts under Georgia's Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act, claiming the shooting was tied to gang activity. They accused Wright of committing the act to obtain, earn, maintain, or increase status within a criminal street gang. Those gang enhancement charges took things to a whole new level, suggesting that this wasn't just a personal dispute, but part of something much bigger and more organized happening on Atlanta's streets. As news of Contavious Wright's arrest spread like wildfire, the hip-hop community was thrown into shock. Another rising artist caught up in the dangerous crossfire between fame and the streets. Conversations exploded online. Fans, critics, and fellow rappers all trying to make sense of what happened. Was this another case of the streets catching up with an artist who couldn't leave them behind? Just days later, on August 24th and 25th, 2022, Wright took to Instagram stories to speak for himself. In bold letters, he declared his innocence, insisting he had nothing to do with the shooting. The post spread fast, shared across social media as people debated his words, trying to decide, was Dirty Tay being framed, or was there more to the story than anyone wanted to admit? I'm innocent. The news is not always right. Don't bash me because of allegations, Wright wrote on his Instagram story. A bold, emotional message to the world that was already painting him as guilty. He pushed back hard against the headlines, trying to remind people that what they were hearing wasn't the full story. His words hit social media fast, spreading like wildfire and instantly splitting the public right down the middle. On one side, there were those who stood by him, fans and friends who said he deserved the presumption of innocence until proven otherwise. They reminded everyone that allegations weren't the same as convictions, and that police reports and early news stories don't always tell the truth. Some of his biggest supporters in the hip-hop scene spoke up online, posting messages backing him and questioning the evidence. They refused to believe that Dirty Tay, the same artist who was just blowing up, could be capable of something so dark. But not everyone was convinced. Others said the charges were too serious to ignore, that the details were damning, and that maybe fame had pulled him too deep into the wrong world. The debate got heated. Timelines filled with arguments, theories, and emotional posts as the city waited to see what would happen next. As the case moved through the courts, months turned into years. Nearly 2 years behind bars. That's how long Wright sat waiting for his fate to unfold. His lawyers were working non-stop, building a defense, while prosecutors stacked up evidence to make their case. The bond was sky high, way out of reach, leaving Wright stuck inside Fulton County Jail, watching time slip by. Then came May 2024. After almost 22 months behind bars, Contavious Wright made the decision that would seal his future. He accepted a plea deal. That single choice would determine the rest of his life. The plea agreement locked in a massive sentence, 25 years total, with 17 years behind bars and another 8 years on probation once released. Legal documents obtained by Hip Hop DX confirmed the deal, though the deeper details, what exactly Wright admitted to and how the negotiations played out, were kept under wraps. The full story behind that courtroom decision stayed hidden, but one thing was clear. The deal meant Wright had accepted guilt for at least part of what happened. It was a sharp twist in the story, completely opposite from his earlier social media claims of innocence. Fans who had stood by him were stunned, and critics wasted no time voicing their outrage. When news of the 17-year prison sentence hit the internet, reactions came fast and fierce. Many people argued that 17 years was way too light for such a brutal crime, especially one where a 3-year-old child had been shot in the head. The idea that someone could stalk a car, open fire, and walk away with less than 2 decades in prison didn't sit right with a lot of people. Social media exploded with anger, disbelief, and heartbreak over what felt like a justice system that had failed the victim. Comments flooded platforms within hours of the news breaking. One person replying under Hip Hop DX's post summed up the public mood perfectly, writing, "17 years is soft. The toddler didn't even get a chance to live a life." That message hit hard, echoing what so many others felt deep down. The outrage was loud, emotional, and raw. To the public, the punishment didn't seem to match the pain, and the image of that child fighting for his life was burned into everyone's mind. The case wasn't just another headline anymore. It had become a symbol of how tragedy, fame, and violence can collide in the most devastating ways. One commenter using the name John316 wrote, "You don't come back from executing a child, gotta answer to God." His words cut deep, invoking divine justice and suggesting that no matter what sentence Wright received on earth, there would be a higher price to pay one day. The post went viral, echoing the anger and pain that so many people still felt about the case. But not everyone was ready to condemn Dirty Tay. He still had a few loyal defenders, even if they were heavily outnumbered by critics. Rapper Big Blur jumped online to post, "Free Dirty Tay, he innocent far," showing that some fans still believed the system had failed him. Another user at AKA Big Red blasted the outcome too, writing, "Real mag, Dirty Tay got the worst plea deal, y'all gotta free him." To them, the 17-year sentence wasn't too soft. It was way too harsh. The controversy didn't just surround Wright himself, it rippled through his entire circle. The case triggered a wave of conversations about 4PF, Lil Baby's label, and whether a pattern of violence was emerging among some of his artists. Shockingly, around the same time as Wright's sentencing in May 2024, another 4PF artist named Day Day was charged in connection with the death of a 6-year-old child. That horrifying coincidence had social media reeling. People couldn't ignore how disturbing the timing was. Soon, reports started surfacing that Lil Baby had quietly dissolved 4PF in 2024, allegedly due to growing law enforcement pressure and rumors of possible gang ties. Nothing was ever confirmed officially, but the speculation ran wild online. Many connected the label's sudden shutdown to the legal chaos surrounding Dirty Tay and other affiliated artists, a sign that the street heat was getting too real. The comparisons came fast. People pointed straight to Young Thug's ongoing YSL RICO case, saying it all pointed to a bigger issue. Atlanta's rap scene was skating a dangerous line between art and reality. What was supposed to be storytelling and street expression had started blurring into real-life violence, and Dirty Tay's case became a brutal reminder of that collapse between music and mayhem. Now, as Contavious Wright serves his 17-year sentence, one thing is clear: his career, once filled with potential, has come to a tragic end. And that innocent 3-year-old boy, the real victim in all of this, will carry the scars of that day for the rest of his life. If you made it this far, don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts. What do you think? Was Dirty Tay treated fairly, or was his fall from grace just another example of how the streets never let go? Hit that subscribe button to keep up with more shocking true stories and untold hip-hop scandals.